did very little right on the first 2 points, as Brazil simply washed over them like a wave. But then they recovered, they resurged, and they held Brazil back and stopped them from completing the map.
Diva so good on defense there too, because the flank paths are completely the same size as her defense matrix. You saw on the lower level, the Reaper tries to come in, defense matrix up. On the upper side, if you try to send your Tracer up there, Diva's very mobile. She can go to the upside. Defense matrix up. Shut down so much damage. Did Hoo-Woo. Probably his best game of the day.
It was very good. I mean, anytime you're a Diva and you're devouring that many pulse bombs, you can feel happy. But it wasn't just that. That was the flash. That was the spice. The rest of it from Hoo-Woo was just very good protection, where even when a Reaper came into the mix, he protected his team and said, look, let's take this 3-on-1, while mitigating anything that Liko was trying to get done.
If we didn't mention that the Reaper was in the conversation, you wouldn't have known. He got absolutely nothing done, no damage, was unable to even de-mech Hoo-Woo a single time. Those tanks worked together great. They had to try something. Now, Brazil did push it pretty far for Dorado. Brazil has a chance to close out this map as long as they prevent New Zealand from getting it just as far as they did. And we'll see what they want to run here as we look at tortas and tacos.
You know, I can't take this anymore. Between Rachel at the desk talking about food and now just a zoom in on the taco shop. Guys, you already know food is my vice. I don't know if I can handle this right now. I know there's catering back there, so please stop torturing me.
I wonder what the catering is. Any guesses?
I don't know.
The guarantee is delicious. And shout outs to them. They're absolutely great. Yeah, now I'm hungry. ZB, I would have been fine. I would have been totally fine.
Misery loves company, but speaking of hunger right now, Hex, on the Overwatch front, there is a hunger from New Zealand to finish out this map and go 2-2. We'll see if they can satisfy their hunger now as the gates open and the match begins.
Well, they'll try to pull it even here. The reason you see so much Ana on defense, by the way, is because you see this aggressive tank play up on the rooftops. You need the distance healing, the very powerful healing output of an Ana over that distance in time to keep those tanks healthy. And now the jump up as the tanks from both teams will duel on the rooftops. Hoo-Woo gets the better of it.
Hoo-Woo, very good control coming out from him. Not only did he save Legabrill after the dive-in, but he threw in the damage on the Neil to give New Zealand a 6-on-5. Now, Brazil, who wanted to be aggressive with the dive defense, can't be quite as aggressive with a tank down. So it's 5-on-5 now, but this is not a bad start here from New Zealand.
Well, defense gets a couple, but there is some progress already under the archway, and the bodies will just continue to push to this point. Willix is able to take down one of the Zenyatas there. The tanks have been working very well together, and they're staying so healthy. The defensive Ana is actually really good. The reason that tanks were so popular in the meta at a certain point in time is because Ana is so good at healing tanks. The healing rate very high, already has her nano boost ready for the defense of Brazil.
New Zealand right now keeping the payload moving forward. Brazil will have to commit here sooner rather than later. They throw in the nano boost, but here comes Willix into the back himself, moving into the room, slicing his way right through. 2 kills here from Willix, and he has done his work. Should be enough for New Zealand to really get some momentum, but Dudu still alive and a threat.
Well, Willix able to take down the 2 pieces that they wanted to be able to combo. Beautiful charge shot from Alamo there, takes down Willix, and that was the kill that they needed on the defense. They lost Mirrors and they lost Calera early in that, and I think those are the 2 they wanted to work well together. Did not happen for them.
The interesting thing there, though, was Dudu, where even though Willix was doing really well with that engagement of a Dragon Blade, Dudu did so much work into the back line that it neutralized everything that really should have led to a good fight for New Zealand. So now they're back to the drawing board. 2 minutes left remaining as they try and conquer this courtyard.
And they need at least the courtyard to get a little bit of extension here. Sign has actually been putting his name into the kill feed a little bit, and that's why Dudu's over there checking him. You don't necessarily need the kill, but you need to check that Tracer. Sound Barrier comes in for the offense as they try to engage.
New Zealand right now trying to make the most of the beats. They're not able to convert on kills early on Brazil. Again, a good early disengage, but with Murray's falling to the self-destruct from Hoo-Woo, it's still a good fight for New Zealand. Everyone still alive, still very healthy. Brazil is going to have to commit now with only 5 players. Maurice with the tag visor could be big if he can find room, but right now it's not happening.
New Zealand getting everything that they need here. A self-destruct will come up over top and force them off just a little bit, but no one foolish enough to fall through that. Willix does have another blade in the back line. Yet again, he gets pressured out, pushes them out a little bit. They're going to try to bring this back with a visor.
Visor coming in, but Sign having none of it. Cuts through Marie's enhanced protection and all New Zealand 3.5 minutes left to get through seconds.
Signed, sealed, and delivered right here. He's been playing very well on this map, able to take down the Soldier 76 with the help of his Zenyatta.
I don't want a letter from Signed. I feel like if I had a letter from Signed, I'd just be wondering who it's from, because he just wrote Signed twice.
Special delivery, you know, the pulse bomb line is what Signed's been doing all day here. The bad thing for Brazil is that they invested a lot trying to take that back, so they're going to be at an ultimate disadvantage here in short order. Signed is taken out by his counterpart in Dudu, and that's a good opening kill for Brazil's defense.
This just lets Brazil take a breather. Now they don't have to worry about the tracer to their back line. They can reestablish control. And with Gabriel going down, that is going to signal a full reset right now for this New Zealand team.
We are under 3 minutes, and the cart has a ways to go until they will reach the second checkpoint. Really, for me, at this point is all about high ground. You have to be able to take the high ground off. Defensively, you can sit on the high ground as long as you want. This is an interesting move. That's so cool. The D.Va scoop up the high ground.
Scoop comes in, Huwu again, showing great management and gets his prey. Maurice out off of that engagement from Huwu. 5 on 5 right now, still very even. Huwu, though, can liven things up. Has a self-destruct in reserve. Might use it here to even things up, or they could just back out. Cantus is down, and that's going to leave them without the healing they need to stay in the fight.
Cantus used Transcend, but Alamo has been crushing people with these charge shots from Zenyatta. He had that lined up, and the moment that Cantus's light faded away, he put out those lights permanently and put him down. Now Brazil has really taken control of the economy yet again.
This is game defining what's coming up right now between both of these teams, because both have a lot in their ultimate banks, but the one who rises above the ashes of this fight will likely be in a great position for second. Willix, though, Blade is out, Transcendence forces him away. Cantus down here for the New Zealand attack, so it's still 5 on 5, and Willix doesn't have an orb to really help him get back in. He's got to settle for the beat.
The late barrier comes in to try to keep this push going for New Zealand, but Huwu very low, deep-macked for what seems like one of the first times today, and that is Brazil holding sway over this point. 90 seconds remain for New Zealand on their next push.
That was such a big fight for Brazil. Both teams threw everything out into that fight, but is Brazil still in position, still in a big advantage when the dust settles? So now New Zealand is going to have to do this without those ultimates in reserve.
It's going to be a micro battle between the tanks of New Zealand and Muras on the high ground. A soldier on a high ground is a dangerous thing. A soldier with a visor on a high ground is even more dangerous. They have the tools to shut it down, but they have to both come in together. The Winston starts first, gets slept, then woke.
I get really angry when I get woken up like that. So, like, bro, I understand. And it's a nice engage. Neil is down early on, forcing Maurice to try and bring this back. Looking for open targets right now. The payload being used for cover, and Cantus spooked. He uses the Transcendence there. I don't know if he had to, but for now, New Zealand still taking this fight relatively well.
If you were focused as much as Cantus has been focused, you'd be a little bit spooked as well. I understand the Transcendence in that situation, and now that Transcendence keeps him alive, keeps the healing and Discord out for his team, and they're able to pull through because of that. These kills are now coming fast and furious for New Zealand. Willix will not need the blade here. I'd like to see him hold on to it for this last push. It does appear they're going to get to second. Brazil has something to say.
Nano boosted D.Va coming in right now. Liko trying to make some space. He's going to get taken down, so more durable or not, doesn't really matter. Dudu, though, find Willix into the back, and Brazil is going to go for a full contest. They come out the Transcendence. This will let them get presence here on the point, and New Zealand, actually perhaps a little bit of trouble. They cannot give up any more kills.
Well, Neil's still here stalling it out, waiting towards his team, trying to get reinforcements, but Cantus has come alive in the DPS role on this Zenyatta. He has been featured a lot. Neil is stalling it out. Brazil has done this on the first point, and it did not work out at all, stalling it out, but they stalled long enough to get all 4 reinforcements. Blade out from Willix.
Signs went down before the barrier hit. That would have been huge. A moment of seconds. No! Takes down Willix. My foot is better than your sword, he says, as Brazil holding on strong right now. In on the point, not letting New Zealand push it forward that last little bit. We are in overtime, and New Zealand's time might just be about over as Brazil takes map number 4.
By all rights, New Zealand should have had that push. Neil went invisible after Primal Rage. He just hung out under the hood of that truck up front, stalled it out long enough for his reinforcements to get there, and rewarded by great play from Alamo, who was able to shut down the Blades towards the end. A great job from both of these teams. Brazil will take the set 3-1, but both teams going home from the World Cup qualifier with a win.
Well, Brazil, it was a rough day 1 and day 2 for them, but they do leave day 3 with a bit of glory. And to talk to us about glory, let's throw on the Golden Boy and our glorious panel.
Thank you so much, CP. And yes, congratulations to Brazil as they will get themselves 3 wins there, New Zealand with 1. So no one leaving without a win in the column, which is great for Group G here. And overall, I think both teams just have a lot to be happy about coming out of that match as they now head back home and really take what they've learned here and try to improve in their regions, Rachel.
Yeah, we talked about this being an opportunity for some players to put their names on the map now in an individual sense, and we definitely saw that from Brazil. Calero with the Zenyatta, just absolutely spectacular. Lyco, some of his best diva, I think, of the tournament so far, and also some really strong Genji play. All across the board, I thought that Brazil here was bringing a lot to the table. Maybe not the most cohesive way every time, but we saw that great individual stuff.
Yeah, it was great to just see these players get an opportunity to shine. Same thing for New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, they're not gonna like go further in this tournament, but still they had the opportunity to go up on this stage and show that their region is there, their country is there, and they put their own names on the map, and that's a great thing for all of them. I mean, looking at the New Zealand squad, they're young players, right? All of those are so very young. They still have so much more to come. I personally enjoyed getting to know them here. They're great guys, great spirits. Same for the Brazilian team. It was still very pleasant to have them here.
A good way to close out for sure for those 2 teams. Flame, though, I want to go for you for the highlights here, if you will. Anything you noticed from those final 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like most of these games, at least in the last 2, were all about the support. So I felt like Cantus and Calero and Alamo at the end were just playing incredibly. Here we saw a crazy Anonade. I think it came out from Calero on that defense, and they just, you can't do anything when your team can't do any heals. Even here, Cantus comes in with these Discord orbs and all this damage, and there's just nothing. I felt like this match in particular really highlighted the strength of the supports of both teams. Like even on Dorado at the end there, you saw Alamo getting kills on Genjis repeatedly, on Tracers. You don't get that a lot, and you don't really see these highlight reels coming out of support players. But for both of them, you got so much value out of the Discord, out of the headshots, out of the Anonades, out of the Nano Boosts. Everyone was playing at a very high level, and it definitely just opened up room for Willex to do work, for Judo to do work, for anyone on the team to just make, for the supports to be able to put up, for them to be able to stand up for themselves, make so much more room for everybody else.
And for Neil to stay alive.
Yes,
Saw that today. That was great.
Yeah, that was a big talking point for sure. Well, guys, I mean, it again, good showing for both squads, and congratulations, regardless, as they both end their journey here for BlizzCon. But it was a joy to have them here in Los Angeles. But coming up next, we have a great match. This one is a huge decider between 2 teams that have been performing very well here. It's going to be the United Kingdom facing off against Germany. You're not going to want to miss that one, and we'll see you on the other side.
Quem é mais merda? Aí vocês estão vendo meiozinho, eu não sabia o que fazer.
The Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, T-Mobile, and Blizzard Entertainment.